Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bunny Cakes, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel for the first time. Today I am going to be doing a review for the Medina device by T.J.Champitto. This is part of a book tour that was organized by Eric over at Break Even Books, and I will link to the other tour stops down below. So I received a free copy of this book in exchange for an honest review. A little bit about the author, his blurb in the book. T.J.Champitto is an American novelist with a talent for suspenseful storytelling, creating fast-paced adventures that greatly weave realism and science through an extraordinarily vivid lens. With his debut novel, The Medina Device, Champitto has burst onto the literary scene as an exciting new author who is poised to unleash more thrilling works. And then the synopsis for the actual book. Former Navy SEAL Cameron Lyle is transitioning to life as a husband, father, and government contractor. But his thirst for adventure has driven him to a secret life of high-stakes crime that has gained the attention of the FBI. When the mysterious device is unearthed in the mountains of Bolivia, an ancient brotherhood emerges to offer Cameron the opportunity of a lifetime, to steal the greatest discovery in human history from a rogue cell of U.S. intelligence officers. As the beleaguered FBI agent closes in and a team of deadly assassins hunt him down, Cameron leads his pursuers on a worldwide manhunt as he sets off to find the scientist who can explain it all. Secret societies, ancient technology, and international espionage all converge in a journey that will ultimately test the bounds of reality. Okay, so this is yet another one that's not typically within my normal wheelhouse. It's one of those spy games, espionage type books that I don't normally get into. But I have to say this one was a really fun read. It was really fast-paced. It was, the story kept moving, and I liked the way the characters were done. The characters were both believable and unbelievable, if that makes sense. It really felt like watching a Mission Impossible type movie. And even with the way the changes in character perspectives would come, which is normally irritating, like when you bounce between paragraphs and it changes the character perspective, it can be annoying. This one, it was done in a way that made it feel like scene cuts, so I was kind of okay with it. And, I mean, it was really good for the type of book that it is. It was fast-paced, action-packed. There wasn't really any slow movement. There were a couple of red herring moments that were kind of fun. And you can tell that, that TJ definitely has an interest in science, because that's in there. He has an interest in, like, policing and that sort of thing. I mean, there's a lot of it that's not probably terribly accurate, and it feels much more like TV FBI and CIA than real CIA and FBI. I'm getting tangled up in the alphabet soup there. But regardless of that, that's not entirely the point of these stories, is it? It's to get out of yourself and have fun, and this one really did, and it had a great story to tell. And there's an interesting twist at the end. And there's also a whole lot of who's really the bad guy here in the lead up to the climax of the story. Because everybody is the bad guy a little bit. You've got this secret society. You've got these Robin Hood-esque criminals. You've got the FBI that's tracking them down. And there's a question of, well, wait, which guy am I supposed to be rooting for? And I mean, if you read the synopsis, of course, it's supposed to be Lyle and his crew. But you find yourself also wanting to root for the FBI, because, of course, that's our nature. We want the criminals to be caught because they're doing bad things. But then, are they really? And then you have the secret society, and then you have the real bad guy that comes in with the CIA. And I actually sat down, and when I very first started the book, it was a few days ago, and I just couldn't get my head into it probably because if you've watched my previous video, I haven't been sleeping and I can't focus on things. And this was one, it doesn't require like intense focus, but especially because it's not in the type of genre that I normally stick with, I needed to focus a little bit more. Like I can just fall into a horror book and not really have to worry about it. But when it's not something that I normally read, I can't just fall into it. I have to focus on it. So I read the first couple pages a few days ago, couldn't get into it just because of me. And then I sat down and I read all but the first 10 pages literally last night. I finished just a little bit before I started filming this video, actually. My plan was to have finished it a long time ago and then film the review and just be ready to post. But apparently that's not the way my life is working right now, and there was a lot of procrastination due to the lack of sleep and everything. And almost a bit of a reading slump as well, and I feel like this kind of jolted me. I'm ready for my next book. I liked this book. I enjoyed this book. I liked the way it ended. I would kind of like to see more. I would like to see this become a series so we can see what happens with the, well, I can't really say that without spoilers, trying to do this without the spoilers, but I would like to see some side story or future story, or it's kind of timey-wimey, so, it's not really linear. If you watch Doctor Who, you'll get that statement. Time in this book isn't linear at all, and so I would like to see a continuation of the story, I think is the best way to put that. Because there could be so much more. There doesn't need to be, but there so easily could be. And I love a story like that. I think if I could find more espionage stories like this one, I would probably be more into the genre. It's definitely a book that I think, if this had been like my first kind of crime espionage kind of thing, I would totally be way more into it. And it's got me wanting to look more into it. I also had a similar feeling with Camino Wins by John Grisham that I read recently. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I just hit an age, I've gotten old enough to get into crime espionage. I don't know. Or maybe it's because I've gotten so into true crime that I kind of feel it. I don't know. I have feelings about it. I like this book a whole lot. I am definitely going to, when I rate it on Goodreads, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 stars. The writing, I mean, it was good. There were some writing that was kind of fudgy, but this is also an arc, so I assume a lot of the like grammar and spelling mistakes I found will be fixed. But it also didn't take from the story. It was, and I have in my age decided that if the writing doesn't take me out of the story, then I don't care. If I enjoy it, then it's probably going to get a high rating from me. And especially now that I'm reading more arcs and that sort of thing, I'm much more forgiving when I know it's an arc because it's not meant to be the final copy, right? So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to more from this author. Kind of super hoping that there's more to this story, because if there is, I would definitely buy it. And I would recommend this to anyone who is already into the military, FBI, espionage kind of stories. And also I would recommend it to people who are kind of interested in it, because I think this would be a great way to dip your toes in the water. Because one, it's a new author. Two, it's a new, like, it could be a standalone, it could be the beginning of a series. And so it would be less daunting than like your Alex Cross series from John Grisham and everything, where there's like 962 books that are part of this series, and there's like 342 spin-offs of that series. Because I know that's part of what pushes me away from some of the more well-known authors, is because I don't necessarily know that I want to get into all of that. And I know that me as a reader, when there's a series involved, I tend to be a bit of a completionist. So if I start a series, I want to finish a series. And there are like 8 billion series that I need to read, along with the rest of my TBR, that if I had all in physical copies, I would need a whole new house for my books. But again, I'm starting to ramble. I love this book. Actually, yeah, I really did love this book. And I'm looking forward to more. I would definitely recommend it. And so, yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed the experience. And that's all I have. So thank you so much for watching this video and sticking with me with my sporadic uploads lately. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.